While I'm recording this video, federal workers in Philadelphia are taking down a memorial to 9 people George Washington enslaved. Not in 1863, not in 1963, in 2026. The exhibit was called Freedom and Slavery in the Making of a New Nation. It stood at the site of the President's House, the home where Washington lived while he was president, and where he forced 9 black people to work without pay, without rest, without their names being known to history. Last month, the federal government removed it, along with 50 other exhibits at 37 national park sites. Today, on Legends Untold, we tell you what's being erased before it's gone. Slavery in America wasn't a side note, it built the country. From 1619 to 1865, 246 years, roughly 12.5 million Africans were taken from their homes and forced onto ships. About 2 million died on the journey across the Atlantic. The survivors were sold, branded, and worked to death on plantations from Maryland to Mississippi to California. This is what the system looked like. Bodies packed end to end. 600 people in a space designed for 450. This is Gordon. He escaped a Louisiana plantation in 1863. An army doctor photographed his back, the scars from a single whipping that nearly killed him. The photo was printed in newspapers around the world. It changed how the war was understood. This is one family, 5 generations. Every single person in this photograph was born into slavery on Smith's Plantation, South Carolina. Born owned, born property. By 1860, the cotton picked by enslaved hands made up 60% of all American exports. The Southern slave economy was worth more than every factory, railroad, and bank in the United States combined. This wasn't a regional problem. This was the foundation. But the story isn't just what was done to them. It's who they were. Sojourner Truth was born enslaved in New York in 1797. She sued a white man for her son's freedom and won. She walked across America preaching abolition and women's rights when both ideas were considered radical. Frederick Douglass taught himself to read in secret, escaped slavery at 20, and became the most photographed American of the 19th century because he understood that the camera could prove a black man was a man. Harriet Tubman escaped slavery in 1849 and then went back 13 times to lead 70 more people to freedom. She carried a pistol. She never lost a passenger. These children were photographed in 1863 after the Union Army freed them in Louisiana. Their pictures were sold to raise money for schools for formerly enslaved children. Education was the first thing they asked for. The first thing. Now back to Philadelphia, back to George Washington's house. The President's house stood 1 block from Independence Hall, the building where the Declaration was signed. Washington lived there from 1790 to 1797. While he ran the country, he brought 9 enslaved people with him. Their names, finally engraved on a memorial in 2010, were Oney Judge, Hercules Posey, Austin, Giles, Paris, Christopher Shields, Joe Richardson, Moll, Richmond. Oney Judge was 22 when she escaped to New Hampshire. Washington spent the rest of his life trying to get her back. She refused. She lived free until she was 75. Hercules was Washington's personal chef. He escaped on Washington's 65th birthday. He was never recaptured. For 16 years, those 9 names stood on a wall in Philadelphia. Tourists who came to see Independence Hall were forced to walk past them, to read them, to say them out loud.
In March of 2025, the President of the United States signed an executive order called Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History. 2 months later, the Interior Secretary issued Order 3431, directing the National Park Service to remove exhibits that, in his words, disparage Americans past or living. By January 2026, the president's house panels were gone. 51 exhibits taken down at 37 park sites: Bunker Hill, Fort Sumter, Manzanar, Stonewall, Muir Woods, Death Valley. An internal database listed over 500 items flagged for removal. A federal judge in Boston ruled the removals illegal and ordered them restored by July 3rd, one day before the country turns 250 years old. Last week, an appeals court let the administration replace the president's house panels with new ones the government writes itself. The declaration was signed 1 block from where the 9 were enslaved. They wrote, "All men are created equal," while the people serving them were considered property. That contradiction is American history. Erasing it doesn't fix it. It just makes the lie last longer. I'm Amin Ali Shabazz. I'm the co-founder of the Legends Digital Museum. We tell these stories because no one else is going to. Oney Judge, Hercules, Austin, Giles, Paris, Christopher, Joe, Moll, Richmond. 9 names. Say them out loud. They're harder to erase that way. Subscribe to Legends Untold. Visit Legends Digital Museum. Share this video. The story isn't done.